All right, let's get right into it. Almost every single successful startup hits this wall. It's a point where the growth, the magic that felt so easy, just stops. It flatlines. You've built something incredible, but now you're just stuck. So the real question is, how do you break through that plateau?
To figure this out, we're going to look at a real-world case study. Now this number, $6.4 million, that's the annual revenue of a travel company called Jute. Pretty impressive, right? They teach people how to go on these amazing bucket list trips using credit card points. By any measure, that is a huge win. But there's a serious problem hiding behind that big number.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, despite all that revenue, the business has hit a ceiling, a hard ceiling. Whenever they try to spend more money to get more customers, to grow, they get almost nothing back. They are, for all intents and purposes, completely stuck.
So, this brings us to the heart of the issue, what we're calling the stalemate. And what's so fascinating here is that Jute's problem is one that so many businesses face. See, they rely almost entirely, like 85%, on a single ad channel. For them, it's Meta. And when they try to ramp up their ad budget, say from 100 grand to 150 grand a month, their sales barely move. We're talking like a 10% bump. They're just pouring money into a bucket with a hole in it.
And this number, this is the symptom of the disease. It's their ratio of lifetime value to customer acquisition cost, or LTV to CAC. Now, for a healthy, scalable business, you really want to see this at 3 to 1, maybe even higher. At 1.4 to 1, well, their profit margin on every new customer is razor thin. It leaves them zero, and I mean zero, room to scale up.
So yeah, the whole problem really hinges on this, their customer acquisition cost, or CAC. All this means is how much money you have to spend to get one new person to buy your thing. Jute's CAC is so high that it's basically eating up all the profit they could be making from a new customer, and that is what's holding them back. So to fix this, business strategist Alex Hormozi starts with this one simple diagnostic question that honestly changes the entire game. He asks, is the business constrained by its supply or its demand? And that leads us straight to the diagnosis. They have a demand constraint.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. A supply constraint, well, that's a good problem to have, right? It means you're so popular you just can't make your product fast enough. But Jute has the exact opposite problem, a demand constraint. They could totally help more people. They have the capacity. They just can't find them and sign them up without losing money. And identifying that, that's the key that's going to unlock everything.
All right, so let's get into the solution. The first big unlock is something we'll call the content engine. Because if the problem is that it's too expensive to acquire customers, the solution has to start with bringing that cost way, way down. And that means you have to completely revolutionize your advertising.
I love this quote. It's such a powerful way to think about it. Instead of your company always being on this hamster wheel trying to dream up new ads, what if you could turn your happiest customers into an endless supply of authentic, amazing advertising?
And this is how it works. This is the user-generated content loop, or UGC loop. It's basically a self-perpetuating engine. A customer has an incredible experience, you give them a reason to share a video about it, and then, boom, their real, authentic story becomes your next high-performing ad. It's cheap, it's super trustworthy, and best of all, it actually scales.
And here's the secret sauce of the UGC strategy. It's absolutely brilliant. See, ad algorithms are really smart. They tend to show an ad to people who look and act like the person in the ad. So when you start using videos from a whole range of different real customers, different ages, different backgrounds, you automatically break out of your little advertising bubble and start reaching totally new audiences. You don't even have to change your targeting.
Okay, so getting cheaper leads with amazing ads is a huge, huge win. But it's really only half the battle. And that brings us to the second unlock, optimizing sales. Because once those leads come in, you have to make sure your sales team is converting them as efficiently as humanly possible.
This is all about working smarter, not harder. So instead of your sales team just calling leads in the order they come in, you score them first. For Jute, the absolute home run customers are people who spend a lot on their credit cards and a lot on vacations. By figuring that out and having the team call those perfect fit prospects first, you're focusing all their energy where it's going to have the biggest impact. It just skyrockets their efficiency.
Now here's another thing. Jute's offer can sound a little too good to be true, which naturally makes people skeptical. The fix for this is this fascinating, kind of counterintuitive sales tactic called a damaging admission. You actually lead with the flaws of your product.
And the psychology behind this is just perfect. Think about it. When you tell someone upfront why your product might not be the right fit for them, it completely disarms them.
Their sales shield goes down. It builds this massive amount of trust. So when you do get to the good stuff, they actually believe you because you've already been totally honest about the bad. So let's wrap this all up. What's the big takeaway here? The keys to scale? It really comes down to these two powerful strategies that work together to directly attack the problem of being stuck.
So you basically have two engines that work in perfect harmony. On one side, you have the content engine, using real customers to slash your ad costs. And on the other, you have the conversion engine, using smarter sales tactics to get the most out of every single lead you generate. It's the one-two punch that can break you right through a growth plateau.
And that right there, that's the end game. When you lower your CAC and you increase your conversion rate, you are directly fixing that all-important LTV to CAC ratio. And that is what takes the business from being stuck and barely profitable to being healthy, growing, and truly scalable.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final big question for you to think about. What are the hidden unlocks in your business? Are you constrained by supply? Or are you constrained by demand? And once you figure that out, what are those hidden keys, maybe in your advertising, maybe in your sales process, that could blast you through to that next level of growth?